structure. Here we are now moved down to the rear side of the structure, and we're just checking the stonework to the gable directly below the slated section. You can see here we have a major problem with this stone. It's all completely unstable. It's all moving about up the upper section. In fact, the actual gable is moving about also, but this is wobbling about, and really this is over the back side, directly above glazed windows which will go straight into the building, and really there is big concerns for the stonework. We'll check both the stones at each side of the gable, but really you can see the extent of the movement in this. This is just applying ever so slight hand pressure. I don't know if the camera can show the exact amount of movement, but it's just wobbling about. So what we'll do is we'll go down, we'll check the left hand side, which is over the main road, and the right hand side, which is over the main roofs. I've moved down to the left hand side now, just looking at this small pinnacle stone, and I really can't even go anywhere near this. You can see that the neck here is perished right through, and really this is, I don't know what's actually holding this in place, but I'm not going to touch it. We're directly above the roads, and really this is a potential danger. It looks as though the neck has completely just eroded away. I don't know about the integrity of the remaining area of the stone. I can't check this. If I touch this stone at all, this crown will fall off the upper levels. Again, just look at the bird mess around this area. So this is to the left hand side, looking over the main road. Can't even touch this stone. And again, looking back to the stone, you can see the joint here. I'm not going to move it any more than I have to. Again, looking to the right hand side stone here. See, we have a fracture right through the neck of the stone. Now let's go down and see if we can check this particular area. Now just taking a closer look at the right hand stone, and again you can see the extent of the movement in this. It's completely unstable. I'm not going to move it anymore. This needs to be made safe. Again, around the spire here we have some slates which have dislodged. These are completely missing. We'll try and identify where these have dropped out to. But again, looking to the finials on the lead work at the top of the slated turrets, you can see that this is starting to perish through. And again, we'll take a closer look at these areas. Again, just in checking the integrity of these areas, you can see there is movement in the upper section, but all the lead has perished right through. It's starting to rot the inner timbers. So we'll now just check this other gable. Let's check the stonework. Again, just looking to the opposite side. This will be the west side, I would say. Looking up the street, again we have problems with the joints. You can see that they're all completely void through. And again, stonework here moving. At the back here we have some mortar. This is sand and cement mortar, and some of the flashings are coming adrift. The mortar's dropping out of the joints, and again there is quite a bit of bird nuisance around this area. So most certainly I would recommend that scaffolding is erected to these areas at the first available opportunity. At this stage, just due to the integrity of the timbers at the top, you can see the timber facings even to the lower tower rotting away. And with the loose stonework which we've found, we're going to descend down the building, just take a closer look at the further areas. But most certainly I wouldn't advise that an inspection is carried out over the street side, just due to the integrity of the stonework in these areas. So we'll concentrate to the rear sides of the tower for the remaining areas of the inspection. Here we are now, just descending down the rear side of the tower. We're looking at the build-up of debris into the valleys. The slates are missing, have all dropped down out of place, and a lot of bird nuisance and vegetation growth forming around the clock face area. Again, looking at the joints of the gable, you can see they're all completely void. And to the clock faces, you see there is voids forming around the perimeter. And further vegetation growth forming. So what we'll do is we'll just remove this vegetation growth from here. This is part of the contract, but the slate work really, obviously moving anything around this area really is quite precarious. So our best option would be to leave everything in position presently until we put appropriate cordons out and make the area safe directly below and make the upper section of the structure safe. Again, just descending down the tower, looking at the slated turret. I can't say I'm overly happy with the slates. You can see they're all just single nailed, and these are all just moving about. They're really all just placed in. There has been some patching carried out in the past, but there's voids right through these areas, and these slates are loose to the majority of the lower section. Here we are now moving down the tower at the balustrade sections. We're just checking the legs of the balusters. You can see that these are also moving. We'll not move them any more than we have to. You can see all the joints are void. And really all these areas need to be addressed. Scaffolding needs to be put around this at the first opportunity. This is at the baluster section. Now just moving down the balustrade, looking at the window sections. Again, you can see the extent of the root rot here. And this timber's actually completely sheared away, completely rotted away. So again, all these areas need to be made safe. Again, this blowing down the roof, people directly below, and it becomes a direct fall hazard. Albeit these can be made safe from rope access, but clear instructions need to be given by the council to make these areas safe first and foremost. Here we are now moved down to roof level. If we could just look again to further areas of this, it's actually the southwest elevation going by the cardinal points between the south and the west. Look at this elevation. Again, on the central mullion here of the window, we have a severe crack forming, and this section is just ready to slither away and fall out. Again, it's going to go down onto the sloping roof and down into the main street. Again, some of the stonework to the lower section is completely fractured away, it's completely broken. And again, this is all undermining the stonework. You can see there is sections of stone which have actually fallen down from the structure, landed at roof level fortunately. There may be areas directly below which have dispersed down onto street level. Again, all the sills of the windows completely rotted away. And really a scaffolding needs to be erected around this area. What we would recommend is that a power frame scaffolding is erected around the roof level to this perimeter to encase this section and make it safe first and foremost, and then a further inspection needs to be ascertained to determine on the extent of works required. Just look at the full structure. Again, I'm not going to venture over onto the outer faces just due to the people directly below. But we've got loose stonework directly above the clock faces. The timber to the upper section is completely deteriorated to a degree where the integrity of the timber at the top is in jeopardy. there's movement forming, there's rot developing through the timber, and really scaffold needs to be erected around this. Even down to the lower elevations, just looking to the fracturing in the stonework, moving stonework directly below the support pillars. And again, around the perimeter of the building there is quite a bit of general maintenance required. But first and foremost, I would strongly recommend that these areas are made safe in the interests of safety, particularly the stonework, which is unstable. There is a possibility that this could come tumbling down. Obviously we have the problem with the timbers at the top. Again, this is structural and really needs to be further supported and further investigated with regards to the strength of this. But from what we've seen, it's completely undermined, and really the wind velocity on the top of the tower really will be quite immense during a windy day. So really this needs to be looked at again as a matter of urgency. Even looking from this lower area, if we can look to the sphere, we've not been to this area yet, but it looks as though this is lying to the left hand side. It looks as though this has slipped out of position. This isn't symmetrical. You can see from the square block directly below, if you carried out an axle of symmetry up the sphere, you can see it's falling to the left hand side. So it may be there is failure at this upper levels also, but until we get scaffolding on this we can't determine on the exact condition. So first and foremost we need to make this safe. So we'll now conclude the inspection here at the Lockerbie Town Hall, where we have found severe problems to the structure, and these need to be addressed in the first available opportunity in the interests of safety. The inspection was carried out by National Height Specialists, who are full members of ATLAS, which is the Federation of Master Steeplejacks and Lightning Conductor Engineers, and we're fully insured to carry out all external repairs which we have identified within the inspection, being the scaffolding and the repairs. So these should be considered in the very near future. So we'll now conclude the inspection here at Lockerbie Town Hall.